Well, first doctor's report is I'm 30% healed. Well, secondly, oh wow, I know this beautiful thing. I am seeing it. Ooh, mamma mia. Great. Well, we're going to find a place. If nothing, no place, then I'm going to remove my picture and fit it there. It is prettier than that. In 1 hour from now, no bullet will be fired. Our commander-in-chief has declared that 9 o'clock our time, midnight Washington time, war will be over. But he did one but business. If any scud is fired or anybody is fired at, then they will go to the last border of the Iraqi territory. It's quite a challenge. I just want to tell you I'm an army man. I'm a trained soldier. Never in the history of this world we have ever fight a war where 500,000 people face 500,000 people both sides within the range of 100 miles, and casualties are less than 100 people. So presumably in 10 years, they are going to make a bullet, they are going to write your name on it and fire it. It's going to find you somewhere in the United States and hit you. Can you believe that? In less than 45 days, a greatest war in the history has been fought, and nobody even felt it. Normally in this kind of war, with the armament and the readiness, if the strategy would not, they said their bombs were right and everything. I don't think so. I think the only thing which worked there was the commander was right. If we would have landed from the beach, our casualties would have been about 10,000 right there. What they did is they went to the ground and made them surrender in 2 hours. However, it is amazing thing now. I don't like wars. But this war has shown that wars are obsolete. That's what this war has shown. That in future, no country will seek a war. It's impossible. And sometime, that is what it will take to live in peace for a while. What else happened today? Finally, our prayer has worked, but we'll still pray for a few days, and rain has come. I know you Californians don't like water, but if this rain continues 3 days, as it should, and 1-2 more storms walk in, we will not have water rationing. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to live in Southern California. Your water rationing will be up to 19 couple years back standard, and if you go 1 gallon up, it's going to cost you about $100. So this beautiful capital of smog is going to be dry and bitter. Thank God that the storm came. It brings a hope. It is not very good here. Rain is very light. But up north, the storm is really good. So there's a possibility within 3 days it may compensate our life. World economy at large is going to go through a revolutionary change. That's a war you're going to fight, and get tuned into that. You might be not aware, they are reducing the rate of interest, you see? You understand? And now they are going to reduce all the conditions to take the loans. They are going to do that. But that's not going to help. Our recession is so deep and ingrained that it is going to be a little difficult. But they're going to fake it somehow to push money into the market to survive everybody. So these days there are a lot of things for buying. Please stop buying. You know what I'm saying? Every dollar cash you save is going to help you tomorrow. Inside this country, in home, our dollar is going to lose 30% of its buying capacity within up to next September. You know, economics is my major subject. I could have been a good economic predictor than being a good yogi, so I just want to tell you to hold your those plastic cards and don't go out and start buying everything left and right. There are big buys for very cheap money. But you all, whether how rich you are and poor you are, you all will need money. Because this is called the face value, but this is called real value. Real value is going to cut out about 30% in the coming 6 to 8 months. So be very careful.
If you already owe money at a higher rate, wouldn't it be wise to try to get a loan at a lower rate and pay off that?
No, the banks are willing to do it because they get 2%. They love it. They like chickens like you. Come in. They'll make a deal. That means you lose a couple $1,000 to them. They don't mind. You know, 2% lower than 1% credit and 1% lower, and put the cost on it, $8,000 for $80,000. It comes down to, it's a very, do you think when these people do advertisement on television, how much they pay for it? And they pay it from their pocket? They get it from you. No business can afford a television campaign until they have 40% money to fool around. Period. 40% is a base standard. So be careful when you buy Tylenol. All doctors prescribe it. Ask sometimes the doctors, what is the real name of Tylenol? Ask, what is the main ingredient of it? And don't forget about it, the Canadian study is a cancer causing. Do you know that? Nobody knows it. its real main ingredients has been never liked. And it came in Los Angeles people in just one corner. There is a Canadian study. Canadians are very brute about it. They don't like lower 48. So they come out with one news and another which blow our cover. You know they are so deadly against nitrosweet in Canada. You can't believe it. Nitrosweet is very good. It changes brain cells. They gave this nitrosweet to the rats. They start acting like cats. These are amino acids. They taste sweet. But they give to your taste system something which you don't understand. Anyway, we all live on artificial things, so what does it matter? Sooner or later they are going to set a business to provide artificial limbs. Heart for $3,000, kidneys for $200 each, something like this. Don't worry, this word is going around. So we are going to talk about the fifth chakra today, its profiles. Why you speak? You speak to communicate. You speak to create an understanding. Personal, look at the understandings. Personal, social, business, identity, projection, personality, creativity, futuristic, and opportunity. All these things you earn through communication. Basically, you have a network. You don't talk because you have to talk. It is not vomiting, it is talking. Every human being, when he talks, he does the network. So in that network, the profiles are there. Are you talking to somebody to grab him in the future? Or now? Or tomorrow? Which aspect? Is a business aspect? Is a personal aspect? Is a identity crisis? What do you want to do? There has to be some main feature in you to project out. Now what goes wrong? You start with the identity projection, but in the middle of conversation, you lose the contact. You go astray. In business, you have heard that impression, dine him and wine him and win him. Normally they say that. Idea is not to dine him and wine him and win him. Idea is to make his brain little loose so you can get the contract. Kill him with obligation. Something like that. But what happens when we talk, even in bed when we talk, two people sleeping together when they talk, they always start with a motive. Motive is very clear at that moment. But in the middle of the conversation, when response happens, most of the time you lose the lane. That is the main reason of divorce, misjudgment, bad friendships. All tragedies are based on one thing. You miscommunication, projection, and profile in the middle of it. You can keep going. Like this. I want to talk to you. Come on, let's talk. I really want to talk to you. And then in the middle of it you say, I just forgot. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you and I wanted to talk to you. Why you are doing this? Nothing. You are creating anxiety. When a person wants to talk, he always can. There's no such thing, I want to talk to you, and I don't remember what I was going to talk to you. There's no such thing. But the purpose of that communication is create anxiety and draw concentrated attention. Have you seen people these days? I enjoy it. Mostly I call people, I get their machines. The message they leave on the machine is so fun. It tells you all about the person you are calling. Like this message. Record your message. Thank you. You like it? Exactly. I'm just telling you. Record your message. Thank you. Or you have reached 69237. In 1 minute, say whatever you want to say. Or this message. You have reached the house of Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so. For her office number is this. For his number is, the man is recording. For his office number is this. If you are concerned with his official business, please call such and such. However, for personal message, now you can record after the beep goes on. Once I called somebody's home, and there was a message, you have reached number such and such for so-and-so. After the whole detail, you can record the personal message. We teach yoga classes from Monday till such and such between this hour. Whole thing. After exact 11 minutes. 11 minutes. I watched. After 11 minutes. It was a long distance. 11 minutes. The call came up. Please record your message. And you know what I did? I said, thank you. It has cost me $19. What to do? Your total personality, that machine can tell. There is a method. Let us give an example. People call offices. Secretaries come. There are different attitudes. May I speak to Avatar? I'd love to give an example. Avatar Hari. That's one way of saying it. Second is the boss in? Connect me with Avatar, please. Who am I speaking to? Or can I speak to somebody in the office, please? Different personality will have a different force and profile behind the message. When a boss will call the receptionist, He will not bother who's answering or who's not. Connect me to so-and-so. Put so-and-so on the line. First of all, it is not connect is very polite. Put so-and-so on the line. The idealistic situation is, what is the relationship in authority in relationship that can come through communication? 3 things communication has in it: purpose, motive, and authority. Repeat it.
Purpose, motive, and authority.
Every communication has one profile: purpose, motive, and authority. But in the middle of the conversation, you forget the purpose. Sometimes you are calling for something else, and in the middle of conversation, you go astray. If your communication is right and keeps to the motive, you shall never have any difficulty in social, personal relationships. Number 2, don't talk as a habit. Talk consciously. And remember these 3 things. When you are talking, somebody is hearing it. When you are talking, and it does take a friction of time to hear it from this main ear to the inner ear, and the hammering and creating the inner sound, and then brain computing it. You understand? If you do not give that time, if my voice would have been right, I could have spoken in 4 ways. Only one way you could understand what I'm saying, others you could not have understood a word. And just also remember, on telephone, more than 15 minutes nobody can hear. There's a time limit. If you talk more than 15 minutes on telephone, rest you are just wasting. The total understanding of identity to identity is maximum 15 minutes. Then otherwise you create a boredom. Then you are testing the endurance, the tolerance of another person. Then it is called psychological telephone call. Any communication where you complete a sentence more than 11 words is painful. So learn to speak little sentences and give pause in between every sentence. Just like this. May I speak to you? May I speak to you? See the difference between the two? If you just say it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't have to speak too much, you have to speak very little, it will be very well understood, it will be responded properly. If you do not create a direct understanding of your communication, you will never get the right reply. Have you seen that? Hello, who is this? Oh, hi, Joginder, how are you? You know, I talked to you this morning. Yeah? On a second thought, I don't agree with many things. I have to discuss with you again. You know why? When you were talking, it was a barrage of fire under which you got everything convinced and proper and fine. But later on, when a person is out of that sound spell, they call it, you will get no result. When you communicate, don't create a sound spell. Don't bewitch people with your words. Because later on, they may negate even what is positive otherwise. Is it called reaction? Because normally when a person talks to you and you talk to another person, it's very well understood at that moment. Later on, it is totally negated. I have seen in my counseling, when I counsel somebody, I freak out almost 99.9% people. Almost that. Because when you talk to me, I'm not worried about it, what you are saying. All I am worried about is to cut it short, get it out, put the system through. But when you put the facts through, people can take it. Nobody is willing to discuss his and her pros and cons. Nobody. There are always pros and cons to life. There are always pros and cons in everything. There is always positive and negative to every aspect of life. But positive and negative is there. Your thinking may not be with it. There's nothing good and bad. Thinking make it so. Your caliber, your attitude is going to decide not what is good and what is bad. You got the idea? So, when you talk to somebody, try to understand what caliber that other person has. What they said, don't lay the pearls before a swine. We mess up our friendship 60% by communication. %60 all divorces, misunderstanding, misjudgments are based on wrong communication. You know what a 60% is? If you live 100 years, 60 years out of 100 years you live in misunderstanding. Out of your 8 hours day, almost 6 hours, 5 and something, is it? Huh? About 5. 5 hours are in a total wasteful thing. He's a computer. He's right. That's why I stopped, to give him a chance to compute it. That's why I call him Chipmunk. It takes about 7 minutes to make somebody horny. It takes. This is 5,000-year calculated science. Just listen to it. I mean, I'm not asking you tonight you should do something, but I'm just asking you to something to listen. It takes 7 minutes to make your partner horny or excited, what you want to take it. But it takes 1 word to freeze it. You got it? And if with that 1 word you freeze it, it takes full moon. Full moon, 15 days to clear that ice. And this you cannot do, doesn't matter who the hell you are. It is called lunar effect. It's called lunar effect. There was a time when people were trained in communication in accordance to the lunar effect. If you ever freeze anybody's sentiments by a lunar effect, it requires a full moon to pass through before you can re-establish your communication. So it means month is out. So all you have to do is in 1 year to do 12 such words. You got the idea? In a whole year, 365 days, all you have to speak 12 wrong words. Don't you feel each one has a tremendous forgiveness? That is why humans are most compassionate animals. They tolerate and tolerate and tolerate and tolerate and tolerate and tolerate and tolerate. Why? Because we are born by sun energy. We live by sun energy. That's why each time in our life we like to provoke ourselves to feel life. And life is not felt through sex, through food, through everything. Life is only felt by charm. And charm of life is felt and measured by all actions, but is understood by communication, by words. Got it? That's why John said, in the beginning there was a word, the word was with God, and the word was God. It didn't mean anything else. And if you read Japji by Guru Nanak, there's a whole line what words means. A cut of a sword can be healed. A cut of a word will remain forever. It goes deep. Sword can only cut your skin or your limb or something. The word will cut your consciousness and sit in your memory forever. But there is a funny part to it. Hi, my darling idiot. How you like that? Just say somebody, you idiot. That's different. But say, hey, my darling idiot. What that means? Idiot means totally different and opposite. Personal language, which is called body language, is always negative and it always low. We call it first chakra language. And in the spiritual world also, when man become with God, they speak the same way as man speaks to man. It comes sounds. First sound which man created is twice. First sound which you cannot help. When you are born a child which you do not know, either you shall smile or you shall cry. Either of the two will happen. And the only sound which you have to create or you always create when you are constipated. You cannot remove your constipation without sound. Try it anytime you want. You shall create a sound. And if you measure that sound, on a sound box, what is called the projection, that will show your capacity to be creative. You know, when you speak, these days on a computer we can measure it, how it goes. The voice of the singers is measured, how much effective it is and all that. Actually, in old times, they used to make what they used to call a paper. It used to be so thin and so well made. They will tell a person, when you go to bathroom, you breathe through it. And what impact has that? They'll measure the whole thing of that person, what that person can be. For thousands of years, to assess a creative personality of a person, this process was used. Your grit is not based on your muscles. Your grit is based how deep you breathe. The length of your breath and your sustenance, do you understand? Sustenance is proportionate. How attractive you are. It's not based on your makeup and your dress and your jewelry and everything, and your art of speaking and everything. How slow and long you breathe, that's attractive. Because your psyche affects the psyche of another person, and the life energy is measured by the length of the breath and the depth of it. Length and depth of the breath measures your effect of psyche on another person's psyche. You don't know anything about it? Who cares? There was a time when there were special schools, universities for this kind of training. People were trained in art of communication. In the entire jewelry world, the most important is ring and a necklace. Why we wear a ring on the right finger, that sun finger? It takes all those mineral stones, whether it's a diamond, ruby, whatever, or any stone, doesn't matter. They take the sun energy and concentratedly put into the body. That's all is the purpose. And with some people, a ordinary cheap stone can work 1,000,000 times better than the priceless stone. If coral fits your body, diamonds won't do a dime. And it's true. People do not understand. There's a sun, they say there is sun in the heavens and there is sun on your right finger. Sun finger. That's why when we marry each other, we exchange rings. And secondly, when you greet somebody, you garland that person. Or you want to dress up, one thing you want to show, one thing, your neck and your necklace. Forget these days, this is called brush age. Brush your hair, go to work. Brush your teeth and start eating, don't worry about it. This era is a brush era. People don't have time for themselves. Brush away friendship. The lord of this era is a brush. Everything is quick, fast, do it and over with. But basically, in your communication, there's a deep relevance. What you put on your body. Because just not misunderstand something. Life is not anything other than the frequency of your own energy. There are some people you talk to them, they'll charm you. Some people bore you. Some people you like to meet again. Some people you never like to see again. The whole universe of yours is based on the word in expression, and that expression is controlled projectively by the fifth chakra. You follow? If your personality is so-so, and your manners are very strong, you can be a great person. If you're not very outright attractive, and you use very attractive words, you can win the heart of another person forever. Oh my God, we have talked so long today. Well, we've got to do some exercise also. That's not fair, right? I promised you yesterday. Now listen, this is the exercise you should do tonight. Sit down and lock your fingers like this and press your diaphragm. Yeah, this place. And you know these Arabian women, when you come for a victory, what do they do? La 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 la. Wait, you're wrong. No. This is how the sound has to be. La 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 la. You can tear up another person with this sound if you want to. It is not a small sound. You always see women chanting it. They can hold the enemy with this sound. But if you correctly create it. All right, ready? Eyes here. I concentrate, which is very good. La 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 la. Okay, now stop it. Now listen. Think something which worries you right now. Anything, any thought. There are so many worries, right? Yeah. Take a thought, it worries me. And take that thought and feel it here. And now start. Stop it. Now think of that thought. There shall be no intensity. Thought will be the same. You remember the same. You are the same person. Any thoughts you put it out, you create this sound, its entire intensity will be destroyed. It acts like a chemotherapy to negative thought. Negative thought, direct or indirect, are cancer causing to the personality of a person. A negative word heard can eat you up more than anything else. A negative thought has more intensity in your life than any pressure in the planet. But this sound takes away it doesn't take away the thought. That will go only through meditation. Mind to mind. When you think, thought comes to you, oh my gosh, he did this to me, and then you say, why, Guru? And that's it. This is minus, you stick the mantra through it, it's become plus. And that way you empty your subconscious, that's meditation. Meditation, when you start meditation, all the garbage start floating automatically. Moment you are in a mode of meditation, subconscious will release every thought which you should not have anyway. Then what you do, you mentally chant the mantra and you cut the negative thought from the below perpendicular, it becomes positive, it's gone, neutralized. Meditation is nothing more than that. It is taking the stink out of your body, out of your personality, out of your art, out of yourself. The stinking thought and stinging tongue are two worst weapons in the world. They actually make you old and kill you. A woman with a stinging tongue collects the life insurance faster than anything else. And a man with a stinking thought stuck with it, doesn't matter what it is unhappy. Make the Bible of it. Do not carry negative thoughts and ideas to anybody. That's why gossips and all those kind of things that you exchange. Why you do that? Because you have to release. A negative thought has to be released. You cannot keep it. So when you do that, it's eating you up, so you distribute it. But you meditate on it, it will go away. Then you don't have to, after all, a phone call costs money. There are two ways it costs you. Either you share these thoughts through telephones these days, or you share mostly these thoughts on lunch. Lunch communications are always for gossips. Dinners are not. Dinner are for creating impressions. These are lifestyles of the modern day. Now please sit down very nicely and create this sound through the nose. Thank you. It is when you cannot relax by any Tylenol and anything, this sound can relax you in no time. When you want to be up, then you can chant the say Om, but you do not know how to. I can't even do it myself, but I'll try my best if I can without breaking my pattern of voice. Just start this. There's a word ikonkar, you know that? But why it is so? It is a sound permutation and combination. Ik, and in the end say kar. See what it does to your brain. Come on. Inhale deep. Go. Ik, If you chant that with a full breath for 11 times, your entire system will relax. Entire system. This sound ikonkar is made to command pituitary into action. They're very clever. Spirituals are more clever than anybody else I have seen. They style the whole thing to get a purpose. You know, in a Jewish synagogue, a cantor talks, right? These days, neither you know what he's talking. Mostly people don't understand what he's saying. But the vibration of the sound is enough to make you concentrate deeply. Exactly in a Sikh Gurdwara, the Kirtan, you may not understand anything. It's extremely concentrated and relaxing. Why we did all these things, not scientifically but spiritually? Because that's all we knew at that time. Inhale deep. Go. Inhale again. Go. Okay, don't too much night. Always try to do this in the morning hours. Only at night you should do it when you want a deep sleep. I won't let you practice this even because after this you have to go home and drive your cars. It's the most effective tool. It put all the chakra granthis into proper frequent vibration, number one. It energizes the neurons of the brain. It also tunes up all the three nervous systems. This is a great sound. Because Om cannot be chanted or said and done. It has to be done in the human conch. Human conch is what is in the back where pituitary is. If I really would have a voice today, I would have chanted to you this thing, blown your mind. But bear with me, someday we'll do it again, if possible. Now, 5 minutes ago, the active war has stopped. So can we pray for peace now? It's a beautiful tape. Sing with it with your heart. Rejoice.
Om
Lord God, give us the power to be peaceful at heart, to be peaceful in mind, and with peaceful with ourselves. Give us the power to be peaceful with others, with our nature, with our elements, with ourselves. Give us the chance and the power to practice peace. The highest honor you gave to the man. Give us the wisdom and the dignity to practice it all the time. Satnam. Thank you very much and God bless you. We'll meet you next week. Is it Wednesday today? Right? So next Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Alright? And drive home careful because you're not habitual to drive in rain. You're Californians. Right? Good night and best of dreams.
Satgur Prasad Ekonkar, Ekonkar Satgur Prasad, Satgur Prasad Ekonkar, Ekonkar Satgur Prasad, Satgur Prasad.